Welcome to the Network Build Grow podcast, the show where business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals share their stories, lessons learned, and powerful strategies for building relationships and growing their circle of influence. With Melissa Taylor, your host, each week we'll bring you actionable insights to help you build a better network and a better business. Let's dive in.
So excited to have Lianne here. I had the joy of watching her TEDx at Sugar Creek Women here in Charlotte a few weeks ago in March, and just excited to have you here. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you again, and always fun to spend time with you. I'll spend time with you anytime. Just call me anytime. I'm there.
I know. We went to 100 Women Who Care this week, which is a philanthropy thing. We've just been all over together lately. So it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. But I know that you have made a difference in my life with what you do with the Clutter consultant. I do listen to your tidbits and put them to practice. So tell us a little bit about the Clutter consultant, and also more importantly, kind of why that's such an important thing to you.
You know, that's really a fascinating question, because I started it completely for myself. I just wanted mad money to go to the mall and to be able to buy some ridiculously priced face lotion without having to quantify it to anyone. That's why I started it.
Okay, good.
It turned into having these women that came to me and they were looking for something to do. They were looking for purpose. And they were like, well, I'm good at organizing, because they had been housewives and they've been taking care of families, but they wanted something bigger. And so they'd come and they'd work with me, which was totally unexpected. I was not expecting that. And that probably filled my heart more than even being able to go into people's homes and help them find what they're looking for and to dig into their stuff, which then turned into, you sound like a therapist, which turned me into, okay, we need some training for some of this. So then I took all of this training. So it's turned into this amazing thing, all because I wanted to buy expensive makeup.
That is hysterical. So you go into people's homes or their offices and you actually help them kind of clear the clutter.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I love how you talk about clutter as not a failure, not something to be ashamed of, but rather just something to dig through, sort, organize, release, and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Which is really great.
So what's fascinating is people talk about, I sound like a therapist, because digging through your clutter is therapy. It's the delayed decisions. It's the, I can't deal with that right now. How many times have you said that? I can't deal with that right now. So you push it off to the side. And then at some point you have to deal with it.
Right.
It's just like if you get into an argument with your spouse and you push it to the side because you don't have time to deal with it right now, but the issue is still lingering. It's still hanging out in the periphery, and it's going to be addressed at some point. The trick is to get it before it becomes something massive. Yeah.
And every time you walk by it, it's just stressful.
Yeah.
Instead of just letting it go.
Because it's always ruminating. It's that background noise. It's the TV in the background. It's always going.
Yeah. Even if it's behind closed doors.
Yes.
Like I'm thinking about my linen closet upstairs in my attic. Like it's behind closed doors. Nobody else can see it, but I know it's there. Looming,
I will say there was a
lurking,
conversation
waiting.
we had. We had a conversation. You may have inspired a line or two in my TED Talk.
Yes. I probably have my Christmas boxes. So it's kind of crazy how much, even if it, like you said, even if it's, out of sight, it's not out of mind.
It's not, it's still there. The junk drawer doesn't have to be junky.
Yeah.
It's a junk drawer because it's got all these little bits and bobbles in it, but it doesn't mean it has to be sloppy.
Right. Yeah. I love that. That's wonderful. That's great. So you started this so that you could go buy expensive makeup and expensive face cream,
which I wear so much of, as you can tell.
Yeah. Me too. But then it kind of started to morph into something different. And it sounds like it morphed into something different primarily because of your network, your circle of influence, people that you knew. Exactly. So networking's played a significant role in the growth of your company.
Well, sure. Because when I discovered so I'm trained formally as a dental hygienist. I was licensed in 3 states. I was really good. I worked for some amazing dentists. I had fabulous education. I exceeded credits. I did all the things.
Yeah.
Well, I came to North Carolina and they went, we don't care. You got to take all your tests again.
Oh.
But my tests had been taken so long ago, I would have to retake all of them. And I looked at my husband and said, well, I don't want to do that anymore. He's like, well, then don't. And then sitting on the sofa, I had too much energy, obviously.
Mhm.
So I went to visit a friend, and as I'm rummaging around in her cabinet, that's when she's like, that's what you need to do. And I was like, what, eat still cereal? And she's like, no, you come over and you clean my junk drawer without me even asking you to. You just do it. You come over to talk about what do you want to do, and you're cleaning out my pantry as we're talking about it. You're really good at this. Do that. So that's what what was your question again? Because I lost my.
It's okay. Yeah, just how your network has played a part in the
Oh yeah.
growth.
So I came home and I did all the right things. I worked for dentists. I worked for small business. I had some
Right.
inkling of what I was getting into.
Hmm.
I got the EIN. I registered with the state. I got insurance. Why is no one calling my phone? Why is
Hmm.
my phone not ringing? Hello,
Hmm.
I'm here. I'm amazing. Hire me. And then it dawned on me, nobody knows I exist.
Yeah.
So back then, there was this amazing little network group that used to happen at Sam's Club at 7 a.m. And
Oh
they
my
did,
gosh, that is early.
it was ridiculous.
It was like that speed networking thing I think I heard
Yeah.
of. Yeah, I
So they
remember
did these
that.
like circles. So they
Yeah.
had an inside circle and an outside circle. And it's like one circle got 30 seconds, change cards. Then the other circle got 30 seconds, change cards. One circle rotated. So you leave with like 20 cards. And that's how it started. I started meeting these women and they started inviting me to other places. I was working 60 hours a week, drinking coffee, hello, 10 pounds, and networking and growing. If you'd sit down with me, I'd sit down with you and talk. And
Yeah.
there were people that I was like, yeah, I'm pretty good with that person. And then there were other people I was like, oh, she's awesome. I'm hanging out with her. And that's how it all started.
Yeah, that's how it all started. That's so funny that you went to the ones at 7 o'clock in the morning because I actually started Network Build Grow because I didn't want to go to the ones at 7 o'clock in the
Well,
morning.
back then I had to. I had a small child and I had to be
Ah,
around. So it
mm-hmm,
was school dictated what I could do.
mm-hmm.
Now I don't want to be anywhere before 10.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Okay, so networking really launched your business. And how do you use networking now in your business? Now that it's been successful, you're now a TEDx speaker, you go and speak to other organizations about clearing the clutter. How do you now use networking?
So I still network. I still go out. This week I was at a number of events. I mean, to our point, we
Hmm.
were doing some philanthropy, but it's changed a little bit. I don't go just anywhere and everywhere. Now
Hmm.
it's what's more aligned. Who are the people that I want to align with? Where are the
Hmm.
people that are doing the things that I want to do? Um,
Right.
it's not, I want to sit down and have coffee with everybody anymore because I don't have the time, first of all.
No, no.
And I don't have the energy to do that and still be able to show up fully. So it's being a little bit more selective about where I'm going.
Hmm.
And I don't
Yeah.
have to go everywhere all the time.
No. Yeah. You don't have to be everywhere. Yeah. And you don't have to meet with everyone. You don't
Mm-mm.
have to have that cup of coffee with every single person that you meet. So, how do you determine which ones you're going to sit down with for a little bit longer? Which ones, for lack of a better word, which ones kind of qualify to have a Zoom with? Which ones qualify to have lunch with? Which ones qualify to have a coffee with? Like, how do you kind of determine, when you meet people where they fall?
Well, part of it is scheduling. What do I have available?
Hmm.
And then the second thing is, how do they resonate with me? I'm pretty good at seeing whose energy aligns with mine right from
Uh
the
huh.
get. So if
Yeah.
our energy is in alignment and it's saying in my gut, oh, that's a hell yeah, then I'm going to go and I'm going to schedule with them.
Yeah.
However, it fits in both of our schedules. So sometimes it's easier to do Zoom just because of location wise.
Hmm.
Sometimes I actually just invited someone to come to one of your network build grow. We're doing
Oh,
a
uh huh.
women's hike, and I invited someone to come with me. We were
Yeah.
scheduled to meet for tea, and she sounds awesome. I was like, let's just go into a hike too, and then you get to meet all these other people
Hmm.
because that's part of networking is sharing your network with people that feel like they're good for you.
Hmm.
So a lot of it's scheduling, but a lot of it is really what feels good for me.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that you mentioned that because we say that all the time at Network Build Grow, like invite people to an event because you not only get to see them and get to know them better, but they get to meet other people. So you're now this like star in their mind because you introduce them to even more people.
Well, a rising tide lifts all ships. Why do I want to keep the good
Yeah.
stuff just to myself?
Yeah.
It grows better if we share it. I mean, if we want to start a fire, you don't do it with one little candle. You do it with lighting the next candle and the next candle and the next candle. Now we've lit
Yep.
the whole room
And everybody's candle still burns just as brightly.
just as bright. And as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, when your candle goes down, because it's going to go down, and you're going to need to get a new candle, now you've got a whole bunch of choices to relight yours.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. So tell me a little bit about like when you first started, you said you gathered 20 business cards and that was a win, right? And then you try to follow up with all of them. It's just all the abundance, abundance, abundance. Now, is it more about kind of cultivating just a few relationships when you go to an event, not necessarily just gathering?
Well, now I have a base network of people
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
do different things. So I don't need to have an overabundance because I can't support them.
Yeah.
It's choosing where do I need a little bit, where's my network needing? How can I put
Yes.
somebody in there?
Yeah.
And then if somebody has something that's a little bit different from somebody else. So you run a
Mhm.
networking group, but I know someone else who runs a networking group, but your group
Mhm.
is different from their group.
Yep.
So now I get to have both groups because they're
Mhm.
serving different needs.
Yeah.
And that's part of that filter system.
Yes. Yeah, it is part of that filter system. Okay, great. So now back to your business a little bit. What is the legacy? Where does this heading? What's the legacy that you want to leave with this? Or is this just to make sure you have the splurge money to buy your crazy expensive makeup still?
Well, the splurge money is still important. Um, that didn't stop. But I've been thinking a lot about legacy because I didn't start this with the intention of it 15 years still be
Mhm.
moving, still be
Right.
blessing people. I mean,
Right.
one of the ladies that works with me occasionally sent me a message just yesterday and said, "This has been the biggest blessing of my life, meeting you and being able to spend time with
Aw.
you." And meanwhile, we were crawling around a garage yesterday, sweating bullets, covered in spider webs. There was dust everywhere. We were sneezing on each other. I mean, it was a full thing. And what do I want? Where do I want this to go? And I think that I want to continue spreading the word that clutter is not supposed to be shameful. It's a moment, it's a part of life. And it's one of those things to be addressed. It's just like putting on a few pounds. You put on a few pounds, it happens.
Yeah.
We shouldn't shame ourselves. And there's enough gurus and nutritionists and exercise people saying that. Just spend a few minutes, eat a little bit healthier. Instead of having a candy bar, have an apple. It doesn't have to be a huge shift. And it's the same with clutter. It doesn't have to be a huge shift. It can be while the water's boiling for pasta, clean out a shelf in the pantry. You don't have
Right.
to take a whole day to do it. As a matter of fact, you're better off taking it in little bites. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping that my legacy is that people don't carry that shame with them and just say, it's just a layer.
It's
I'm
just a
just going to work
layer.
through it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you network for your business, you already know follow up is everything when it comes to growing relationships and driving success. But here's the thing most of us want to follow up well, we just get stuck. Staying consistent, keeping it personal, making it stand out, it's hard. That's why I use NetEffect.io. It makes follow up simple, cuts through all the noise, and helps me stay on top of every relationship without dropping the ball. I never miss a follow up, and honestly, my network wouldn't be the same without it. So check it out, neteffect.io. And right now, you can use promo code NBG50 for 50% off of your first month. neteffect.io, your secret weapon to unforgettable follow up. Okay, so let's do some rapid fire questions. You ready?
Okay.
All right. What is something that you like to ask people at a networking event that's other than, so what do you do, to kind of start a conversation?
The first thing I like to do is compliment them.
Okay, good.
What a cool handbag. Oh, I love those shoes. Because that always takes it somewhere that they don't expect. They're not expecting you to say that.
Yeah. So kind of approach it from a personal side rather than a business side first.
Because then if you know somebody, know something about someone, it's really easy to say, do I want to stay here and have a conversation? Or thank you very much for your time and I'm going to move on.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings up the next rapid fire question. How do you gracefully get out of a conversation that is either really interesting, but just taking a lot of the time for while you're there, or like you said, your energies just aren't aligning, but you can't get them to like pause long enough for you to be able to step away?
So I am very energetic, and I see a lot of people that I know when I go to these events. We don't
Mhm.
usually get to that point. I'm usually flitted off to someone else.
Usually some people come and kind of rescue you, so to speak.
Yes, but just saying something like, "May I have your card? Let's connect over social. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Like
Yeah.
to follow up this with a phone call." There's some ways to gracefully say it without necessarily saying, "I can't sit here anymore."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sit here. That brings up the next one. When
Ah,
you go to a networking event, do you sit? Do you stand? Do you walk around? Like, what do you do from a physical aspect in the room?
oh, I run around.
You run around.
Arms out. I'm hugging everybody. Oh my gosh, how are you? Big hugs. I was at an event last night and I think I hugged like 30 people all in a row. It was so I'm a mover. I'm moving around and saying
Yeah.
hello and standing. If you sit, it's harder for people to come up to you
Hmm.
because you're
Hmm.
almost putting up this little sign, even though you're not wearing it, that says, "I don't really want to be here." That's what it comes across as. I don't think that's
Hmm.
what it's meant to, but that's what it comes across as. Or
Hmm.
I've got something I need to do, so I need a moment. So
Hmm.
let me be for a moment while I'm answering an email, a phone call, whatever.
Hmm.
And so I think that when you're standing and you're moving, your energy in the room is better and you become more of a magnet for people to come up to you.
Yeah. I completely agree. Sitting down is one of the worst things you can do at an event because you're right. It does kind of throw up those invisible walls that people don't know how to penetrate through.
And how many events do you have? You have events all the time. How many times do you say, "Okay, it's time to sit down," and it's like herding cats?
It's like herding cats to get them to sit down. I know it's insane. It is insane, especially when you have 60 people in the room and everybody's still talking. I'm like, okay, we'll get back to networking, but we got to get
We
on with
have
the
an
speakers.
agenda. We have to get moving.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So when you go to networking events, is it about? We've kind of answered this, but just first thing that pops into your mind, is it about quality or quantity for you?
Quality.
Quality.
There's no
Yeah.
no thought there. Initially, it was quantity. When I first got started, I needed all the connections
Hmm.
and still in contact with many of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
got a referral for the client we worked for yesterday is a from a connection that I've had for 13 years.
Oh wow. That's great.
So
That's
still
great.
getting those
So
and
how do you, that's the next question. Like, how do you stay in contact with people for 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years?
thank God for social media.
Yeah, right.
So social media, and then of course just staying active in,
Mhm,
well, there's the, collect the email and do the email thing. I mean, there's that, but that doesn't feel personal. It's the personal that keeps it going, and that's where the social media is so key for that. And staying outside, getting out and going to the events, doing the things. When you see people, they remember you.
mhm.
Even if it's just a handshake and, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been?" I ran into an attorney who was at the 100 Women that we were at, and then was
Uh-huh.
at the event last night. I haven't
Oh,
seen
wow.
her in years.
And
Refer
now you
her on
saw her
social
twice
media
in 1
all
week.
the time. I'm like, "Girl, we're making up for lost time."
Yeah, haven't seen her in forever, and now it's twice in 1 week.
And there's little things you can do. Like you can send somebody a little message. Hey, like I have a client that I haven't worked for in a couple of years, but I drove by a street sign that made me think of her. I took a snapshot and sent it to her. Hey, just
Ah,
want you to know you're on my mind today. Something like that goes
mhm,
miles
and it
with
takes 2
people.
seconds. It
Because
takes 2
who
seconds.
doesn't feel, I mean, do you not feel good when somebody says, "Hey, I was thinking about you today"?
Oh, you know what makes me feel great is when I get a little note in the mail, the actual mail, like, the mailbox, with a little red flag kind of mail. Yeah, I go out there and I get something that's not junk mail. It's actually just a handwritten note. It just means the world to me
I save
because
all
they
my
took the time to write it, address it, put a stamp on it, take it to the mailbox. I mean, that's a
they
lot
also
more
took time
personal.
to make sure that they wrote something that would convey a message to make you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something to honor.
It is something to honor. Even if and honestly, even if it's just a little off the mark. What I mean by that is like maybe it wasn't the most insightful poetry written thing. It was just, I was thinking about you today, or hey, I drove by your street and I thought about you. I just wanted to see how it's going. Just
And then that underlying, I thought enough, and then the underlying, I thought enough about you to put pen to paper and a stamp and put it in the mail.
Yeah, that's the big
Are
part
not
right
mailboxes everywhere anymore. They used to be everywhere, and they're not.
Yeah. But it's so funny because that takes more effort than just writing an email or a text. Right. So I just think that's really insightful. Well, this has been a really wonderful conversation. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, all your information will be in the show notes. But thank you so much for coming and being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you.
Yeah, it's very fun. See ya.
So good. Bye.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Network Build Grow podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or professional. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, visit networkbuildgrow.com to connect with us. Until next time, keep building and keep growing.